Hello, and welcome to the next historical terminology video. Today we're going to talk about the second largest religion in the world, currently Islam, which is Muhammad's message to humanity. So what is Islam exactly? Islam is an Abrahamic monotheistic religion that teaches that Muhammad is the messenger of God. This means that Islam includes biblical figures like Adam, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. And the God in Islam is the same God in Judaism and Christianity. Islam is the world's second largest religion. And Muhammad is considered the final prophet, or the one who got the whole message from God. So basically that means Islam is an extension and kind of what they think of as the completion of these other two religions, Judaism and Christianity. Judaism was first, Jesus and Christianity built on top of that, and then Islam finished it off with Muhammad's messages. Now, how do Muslims worship? Muslims follow the 5 pillars of Islam. These are the 5 most fundamental acts that members of the faith can do to be Muslim. The first one is called Shahada, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong, I don't speak Arabic, which is a profession of faith. And there's 2 main professions that they can say, and the first one is there is no God but God, and the other is Muhammad is the messenger of God. So that really just kind of sums up the monotheistic viewpoint of Islam. The second one is called Salat, which is prayer. Muslims pray 5 times a day, facing Mecca at specific times. Mecca is the city where Islam was founded, and it's in Saudi Arabia. These times are dawn, noon, afternoon, evening, and night. Now notice those are kind of broad, so they can change, except for the noon one, I guess, to fit different people's schedules. So I know, for instance, some students do their afternoon prayer when school is done, right, because they want to make sure they can still get their studies in. That kind of thing. So those things can be a little bit more flexible. Zakat, which is almsgiving, which is another thing in Christianity and Judaism, is giving to charity, usually through a religious tax that directly supports the faith and those in need. So oftentimes in Muslim countries, there are specific taxes that fulfill that requirement for all members of the society, so they can fulfill their zakat. The next is Sawn, which is fasting, and fasting takes place during Ramadan, which is the holy month in Islam. Basically they fast from food and drink and a few other things when the sun is up. So if you have any friends who are Muslim in your class, for a certain month they might be fasting during school. Now this month is not like a Julian calendar month, so it's kind of like in the middle of one month to the middle of another month, because they go off the lunar calendar, not off the Julian calendar. The final pillar of Islam is the Hajj, or the pilgrimage, and that is that Muslims are expected to travel to Mecca at some point, and then when entering the sanctuary area in Mecca, all pilgrims wear the same thing, because all Muslims are the same in the eyes of God. So they wear these 2 white sheets, and they go and pray next to this big black stone, which is sacred in the Islamic tradition. Now, not all Muslims are the same. There has been a split in Islam, and there's been actually many splits. Like in any religion, there's always different sects, so different groups that follow certain different things, just like in Christianity. The major split in Islam is between the Sunni and the Shia, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit right now. The Sunni is the main group, and they believe that the first 4 caliphs following Muhammad were the rightful successors. So these are the leaders of the movement. So after Muhammad died, they elected new people to follow him, to kind of like be the leader of the movement, be the leader of the faith. And they believe anyone who is righteous and follows the teachings of Islam can be a caliph. So they believe that anyone has this power, and as long as they are righteous and they follow the rules, they can be the leader of Islam. Now the Shia, which is the second largest branch, believe that Muhammad appointed his son-in-law to lead, and only certain descendants of these people can be the leader. So they believe strictly that Muhammad's family are the ones who are supposed to be leading this religion. And Shia Muslims practice more pillars than the Sunni. So the Sunni just follow the five and then a few other things. The Shia have, I think, 12. So they have a lot more that they are required to do. Let's talk a little bit about Muhammad. First things first, it's well known, but if you didn't know, you should never draw a picture of Muhammad. Muhammad is not supposed to be represented in pictorial form or anything like that. It's very offensive to Muslims to draw or depict Muhammad. So that's why there's no picture of him, right? We don't make pictures of Muhammad. We're trying to be respectful of their faith. But Muhammad lived from 570 to 632, and he founded Islam. He was a prophet that was sent to confirm the teachings of Adam, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, as well as being the final prophet. So, like I said earlier, in Islam, they believe that Muhammad is the final teacher, the final word from God to humanity. He received his visions from Gabriel when he was 40, and Gabriel has appeared in the Bible several times. He talks to different people. And in 629, Muhammad united the tribes of Medina, and together they marched on Mecca with 10,000 converts, and they were able to take the city with little bloodshed, and that begins kind of the beginning of the age of Islam. And by the time Muhammad dies, the majority of the Arabian Peninsula had already converted. So clearly, he was a very skilled leader. He was able to kind of spread his gospel, if you will, rather effectively. After Muhammad died, the spread of Islam continued to spread. As you can see on this map, right, it travels pretty quickly to lots of different places. And this is just in the first 130 years after Muhammad's death. Now, each of these different colors notes a different section of time where things were taken by different invaders. And so the caliphs quickly were able to spread this religion across the Middle East into Asia, North Africa, and even in parts of Europe. So particularly Spain was the part that was conquered by the Moors, which are North Africans. It took 1,410 years for the various caliphs to spread Islam to its greatest extent, and the Muslim dynasties led by these caliphs created the Muslim world and dawned a golden age of learning, art, and science. So for the next several hundred years, the Muslim world was the center of art and learning and science, because this is when Europe was in the Middle Ages, right? Or known as the Dark Ages, right? They didn't have the kind of things that were happening in the Muslim world because they had embraced science and learning. So today, Islam has continued to spread due to immigration and industrialization. So people from the Middle East who are Muslim have been moving to different places to seek jobs and stability economically. And so with that, their religion has spread. There's also a growing movement in several areas to create a more liberal Islam, which reconciles traditional Muslim views with modern norms. So Islam is trying to move forward and recognizes that the world has changed, and so that they need to change with it. However, there are secular institutions around the world that have attempted to stamp Islam out, such as in China, Cambodia, and Turkey, and most of these stamp outs have been violent. Currently in China, there's a movement to round up a group of Muslims that live in China, and they are exterminating them, which is not great. And there's been several genocides in Cambodia and Myanmar of Muslims, so they are facing persecution in several parts of the world. The Muslim faith is growing rapidly, and it's thought by 2050 there will be as many Muslims as Christians, and that'll be the first time pretty much since the Roman Empire that, well, no, that's potentially not factual, so I'm going to say in a long time that the Christians will not be the majority religion on the planet. And like in Christianity, there are fanatical extremist groups of Muslims who advocate for things like holy war and destruction, but those views aren't mainstream. Just like in any religion, there's always people who take their views to the most extreme possible point. Just like in Christianity, just like in Hinduism, just like in Buddhism, any religion, right? So it's not fair to judge all Muslims based off of these fanatical few. Thank you so much for watching this video on Islam, and I hope it was informative and correct. If I messed something up, please comment in the video below so I can fix it or do a new video. Hope you have a great day.